We are having a very interesting conversation with Tonette Madison from the Boone County Heritage Museum. And if you've been watching the show, you know that we have been tracking my lineage, my Reynolds background, and then Tonette on her own whims has taken off with one of the female wives of the Reynoldses, which was a Spears.
Spears, yes, yes.
And she's originally from Tennessee?
Yes.
And then
yes.
where are we at with her now?
Well, we're in 1880, and she's here in this vicinity now with her father, who's also named Thomas. And his
Is
son,
that the only name people named each other back in those days?
It was a good biblical name, good strong name.
Yeah.
And with lots of brothers and sisters there. There were some doozy names in there, as a matter of fact.
I've noticed some of the females were really named some odd names that I've never heard since.
Lots of state names, lots of Tennessees, Missouris, and Arizonas, those types of things. I'm looking at like Erastus, and it looks like maybe twins. No, one's 5, one's 3. Estes and Erastus or something like that now. That were July Ann. As a matter of fact, she's Julie that we're talking about there in 1880 is listed as July Ann. And,
July Ann, okay.
That's what it says there. Now, maybe that's the way the census takers spelt Julie.
So they go by phonetically a lot. I've heard that.
Oh, absolutely.
They will go by how it's said to them, and they just make up the spelling.
Yeah. Whoever was actually doing the census, you were at their mercy as to how they spelled your name, really. So you have to keep that in mind when you're searching. And also, when you do an initial search, the actual document is not what you find first. It's a transcriber's interpretation. So it's been through another filter before you get to it. Now, once you find it that way, you can go look at the actual document, which is what I've done and brought today. But there's another chance that it's off a little through that filter. So, but most of the time it works really well. And if you know a few tricks and something's hanging you up, you can usually find your way around that.
Wow, interesting.
So I don't know if we did flash the 1880 slide up there a while ago with Thomas Spears in 1880, and July Ann was in his house at that time. Okay. And then we move on, and we have Thomas as a young man in 1850. So he's in the house, and they're also all ready to, I think we need a backup one to 1850 maybe. There we go. Yes, there's John Thomas Spears. See, and in his house is a young John Thomas Jr. or Thomas J. there in the middle, who is 16 years old. Now that's Julie's dad, and they are by 1850 already in Carroll County.
Wow.
So, which could have been, Carroll County was huge at that time.
Does it say farmers out beside there?
It does. Okay. Yes. So they're all farming. Now we could find where they probably where they lived at that time. We have those helpful records there at the museum, but also the Bureau of Land Management website is very helpful in finding folks, especially in Arkansas. It's really well documented. Some other states are harder, but Arkansas is usually pretty good about finding out who homesteaded where. But here we have them in the same house in 1850.
Okay.
Now, before then, it gets a little, like I said, harder. They're not named like we see in that particular slide or all the ones before it. They're not named, so you have the head of the household and how many people were living there at the time and how many were under, there's a space, within 5 years, how many males under 10, how many males above, those types of things. And so it gets a little harder. So I was not able to put John T. Spears in the house with his dad, so I did a little other research. Where was he born and where did he come from, where had he lived, and looked at some work that some other folks had done and put it all together, and we came to a Mr. Samuel Spears. And I have where he, let's see, I have him in a census in 1820 in Bedford County, Tennessee. That is.
And what is that we're looking at there?
That right there is a look at his actual file for the U.S. Revolutionary War Pension and Bounty bounty land warrant application files. So that's the actual docket that he filed. That's what I haven't told you about, Dan. I'll bring that out now.
Okay. And what is he doing here? Is he trying to homestead land, or is he?
Well, Samuel's not here. His son was here.
Okay.
We're going back to his son's father.
Okay.
This is Samuel, who we're almost certain was his father. We didn't put him in the house. He lived in the right place. He's everything else points to it. And Samuel was a Revolutionary War soldier, and that's what I got excited about. I actually have him in the census in 1820, and you can see what they look like as they get older if we can pull that one up. The next one, yeah, there we go. You can see the writing is different, a little harder to make out, and the numbers and marks out there represent the different brackets that they ask about, males between 5 and 11 and
see,
those
yeah.
type of things. So nothing's real definite, but you can see Samuel Spears. He's third from the bottom there, and he's in Bedford County, Tennessee. Now, and we found out that Samuel was a Revolutionary War soldier, which is always interesting and remarkable, really. I mean, that's.
And what year was this? 18.
The census that we're looking at there is 1820. So we've come
Okay.
100 years.
That's
100
way
short
before the
years.
Civil War, so that's.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. We probably had a Civil War soldier in between there. Absolutely,
okay.
yeah. But when I got and went to Samuel, I found a lot of information. One of the things that was sort of out, we looked at that docket in 1818 and again in 1820. Samuel went to apply for a Revolutionary War pension, and he had lost his papers. So he
Oh.
took witnesses with him that said, I absolutely
okay.
served there.
Wow.
This is where I served. This is what boat I was on. This is who I served
Okay.
under. So I have all that information printed off for you. I'll give it to you afterwards.
How
Oh,
neat.
okay.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That's cool.
A lot of people don't come up with, have that information for a fourth great grandpa. A lot of personal information in there
Mm-hmm.
for, to go back over 100 years now. We're in
Mm-hmm.
1820 we did.
Yeah, it is 1818. It'll be 100 years next year. But we've come, through the census 100 years here. We started in 1920, and 1820 is the last census I have with him. There's also a picture of his tombstone there that's in Bedford County,
It'd
Tennessee.
be 200 years.
200 years.
200
Well, the
years.
year was, but he applied for the pension in 1819 to.
Okay.
I told you I don't do the math.
The numbers are driving us crazy.
There are too
It was a
many
long
numbers.
time
It
ago.
was a
How about
long,
that?
Long, long,
Long
time
time
ago. Well, I lived in the 1900s. It's hard to get out of them. All right, you know what I meant.
I do.
And we have a picture of the tombstone that's in Bedford
Okay.
County, Tennessee.
And this
if we
is
can put
of
that there. This is
the
your
Revolutionary War Samuel
Yes, your
Spears.
fourth great grandfather, I do believe.
Awesome. Look at
Wow.
that. And where did you acquire it? Did you take this yourself, or did?
No, I didn't. That's also Find a Grave is another great free
Okay.
resource out there. That information that you'll find is not vetted, but it's put out there by a lot of good. It's a great place to start, and a lot of pictures of those stones are out there, so you don't actually have to go there. But as many trips as I take, I'll get you a real one of this. I promise.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I've done some research on my own trying to find the
great.
Reynoldses, and I've
Good
sent
deal.
you some
Yes.
slides. I don't have them here, and I apologize, but I found that my great grandfather, I think it's 7 or 8, I can't remember.
wow.
His name was Samuel Reynolds. Did not have a middle initial, which was odd, but he was in. He was born in Alabama, and while I was searching for Samuel, I found another Samuel Reynolds that was in another bigger town. Wasn't related. I could be related. I don't know, but I came across a slave roster, and this gentleman, Samuel Reynolds, had, and it was a registration that was sent to the United States government on the amount of slaves he had, and it was they didn't name the slaves, but they were listed as their age, male or female, if they if they could read and write, and if they were currently in some kind of school.
Oh,
So that was a mind blower for me to see
Yeah.
that document, and it was around 1820s, I think, or 20s or 30. I can't remember exactly the date, but that was
Wow.
very, very strange to see that.
It
Yeah.
is. That's, it brings it home. It makes it real when you see those types of things.
And it also tells the mood of the country, because it was regulated. It was accepted. It was a part of daily life. And I'm old enough to know, or to have witnessed, the segregated bathrooms, and the blacks would sit on the back of the bus, because I would travel every summer here from Ohio to stay with my grandmother, and I always wondered why the blacks always got in the back of the bus. Well, that was their place. I mean, that was just common. It was just, that was the normal thing. And seeing a sign for coloreds on the side of a building, and you look down and you go, well, what's down there? And there'd be a drinking fountain or a restroom, and it just back in the 60s, that was just a common thing. So seeing those official records puts you in a different frame of mind than where we are today.
Certainly.
Because of the mood of the country, and it was just a normal thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was, and everyone. I mean, I can't even imagine the thought processes, but it was normal to them. I mean, and certainly we've talked about the way life was different then, and so I
Sure.
didn't even experience. You really dated yourself, Dan, because I have
Oh.
no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember
You
any
have
of
no
that.
idea what the 60s
Any of
were
that?
about.
No. So even my generation had a totally different. We don't remember those things. We don't. So it's different for us as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and I can imagine how far removed today's kids. I
Sure.
don't think the kids graduating
Excuse me.
this year haven't lived without an iPhone. Is that right? Did I see that somewhere or something?
Probably
Probably
not.
true.
Probably
Yeah.
true.
Graduating
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
totally different.
Yeah.
But history is so important. I don't think you can move forward unless you can reflect on what
Absolutely.
happened, because history repeats itself, and you got to have. I think we all have to have a reference point when we make decisions, not only for the government or in our own lives, of what happened before that was that turned out wrong. So let's
Right.
avoid that.
Exactly.
And those are just general
Right.
statements.
Right.
We have talked almost an hour
You're
about
kidding.
this one topic, and we're like the Boone County Heritage Museum is like an iceberg. We've just scratched the surface.
Absolutely.
And there was one thing that you wanted to talk about before that you.
Before she
Yeah.
does, I want her to throw out too that you mentioned that you could help. Like, I'm adopted, so you said there
Yeah.
was that avenue that can be explored as well.
Certainly can.
And through this, if you like set up an appointment on Thursday or whatever, you could like.
Yeah, I
hook-
would. Yeah, I've done that
Okay.
type of thing before. I certainly wouldn't recommend it unless you want results.
Right.
So,
Because you may find them.
absolutely,
Okay.
Good or bad.
Okay.
absolutely.
But I just wanted to open that up that
Sure.
was an
Yes.
option as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Or I can
okay.
certainly show you how to. I'm good at finding people.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
But okay, go
Lots
ahead
of
and tell
different
us about
ways to
your
do that.
fundraiser.
Yeah,
I
the
just wanted to
fundraiser,
put
This
yeah.
is
that
the
out there.
fundraiser. It's October, folks, and this is our. We like to say we're extremely nonprofit at the museum. We don't just happen. We exist. We don't get any city or county funds. A little bit from the county because we store a lot of their books. But we exist on donations, memorials, memberships. We send out our publication. You get to come in free for $30 a year, and we put out 3 publications a year. Fascinating story in this publication.
Oh, and they
itself.
wrote a great piece, and that's what was it called? I forgot the name of it now.
The historian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
the
what it's called?
Boone
Okay.
County historian.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
did a great thing on this building that we're in.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It
absolutely.
used to
We
be
have all
a
those
hospital.
archived that you can come in and get those as well. So if you don't belong to your local historical society, you should, because it's yours and we're archiving your history every day, I promise. But we have to do fundraising. It's not the funnest part, but this is because, and Ann has helped us with this before.
Okay.
We're having, we used to have the repast with the past. And everybody said, don't call it that because nobody knows what it is. But I did, and I loved it, and so I called it that. But now we're doing it in near Halloween, and it's called the Halloween Monday Bash. Kind of fits in with our Monday at the museums. We have a speaker the last Monday of every month. And this month, in October, we throw it into our fundraiser. And we have it out at the Quality and Convention Center. It's going to be Monday the 30th, start at 7 p.m. And the speaker will be Abby Burnett, the Tombstone Lady. I don't know if you know her. She wrote the book, it just flew out of my head, but it's about death and dying in the Ozarks from 1850 to 1950.
Okay.
Symbolism and tombstones. Abby's the Tombstone Lady. And she's doing Rest in Pieces this year about amputees and where you
Okay.
can find different arms and fingers and toes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there were all these rituals and things that you did if you lost an arm or whatever. So
Oh,
it's going to
weird.
be really
Okay.
interesting. And she'll be the speaker, and then we always have a character, and Ann's helped us with this, from Boone County's past who comes to life and tells us what Boone County was like when they were here.
Okay.
And the different things that happened.
Well, I should be a guest on that because I've been here for a long time,
Yes.
as you stated.
Yes.
There you
You're
go.
a little older than you. Not much, though. We definitely want you to come talk to some school children for
In a few
me.
years, I'll schedule that in.
Tickets are $25. You can call and get tickets with us. Don't miss this.
And the date is when?
It's going to be the 30th. And you
October
can come
30th,
in
okay.
costumes. The
Okay.
place is going to be decorated. It's a place to be before Halloween. So
Okay.
we'd really like for y'all to come.
Well,
and see
Tonette,
us.
we want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for
And
having me.
I've made this invitation in private, but I'm going to make it public, that I want you to come back on a regular basis
great.
and bring artifacts or topics that are significant to Boone County and our
Wonderful.
area, and I'll let you do the
We'd
research,
like
and we'll
that.
just sit here and enjoy the
I'd like that.
presentation.
Good deal.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
having
much.
me.
Great show. I enjoyed it. Of course, it's actually tracking my heritage a
bet.
little bit. And if you're interested in tracking your own, you can contact Tonette at the Boone County Heritage Museum. And that number again is
870-741-3312.
3312. And if you'd like more information, contact her. Get to know your past and have fun with it. For all of us here, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
we'll see you. Are you going to be here on the next show, or are you going to be
I'll be here.
deep sea diving?
I'll be here.
All right. If you want to be a part of our programming here, you can contact us here at the station at 400 South Sycamore here in Harrison, Arkansas, 870-741-4891. Or you can go to our homepage, our website,
Hometown.
HometownTV.net,
Yeah.
or Hometown Television on Facebook.
There you go.
If you got an idea for a show that we would like to cover, just go ahead and contact us, and we'll consider anything about our area and the people that watch our show. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.